I have a box, and I think there's yuccas in it. In fact, I know there's yuccas in it. I'm going to do something with them, and I'd like to show you. So let's get started. Hi, this is Ann from Love a Yucca. Got a box, gonna open it, and we will see what's in it. I have an idea, no honesty. Oh, look at this. It's a yucca, all right. It's a blue boy yucca. And I think there's more in here. There's another one. Looks good, too, for having been chipped. And one more. Enough paper, huh? Oh, this one looks good, too. Blue boy yuccas. They're actually, Desmentiana is the official name for them, but they're blue boys. And you can see they have a slight bluish tint, and they get even darker in the summertime, really blue. They're man-made, they're a hybrid. You're not gonna find these in the wild, but you will find this in a lot of landscaping. They're pretty hardy too. I mean, they like humidity, they're drought resistant. They can go down to 20 degrees. So if you're a little bit north, you can probably plant these and they'll do well for you. They're made for zones, USDA zones 8 to 10. But if you really protect them and take care of them, they can handle a 7. It can get up to, I think, 4 to 6 feet tall and 3 to 5 feet wide. They are capable of blooming, but I don't think anyone's ever seen a blue boy bloom. We're going to do something interesting with them. I have 3 other ones, and I want to show you how I plan on presenting them. And here's a hint, not around my house. So stay tuned. Hi, I'm getting ready to plant my blue boy, also called Desmentiana. And first, before I plant it, I want to talk about the pot a little bit. I did a video on pots, but today I will be using plastic. And there's nothing wrong with plastic for a yucca. I know terracotta is best, but if you do it right, plastic works well. But this one, if you notice, doesn't have the holes punched out of it. So we're going to do that, since drainage is vital for a yucca. Otherwise, can you say root rot? So I'm just taking a screwdriver. If you notice here, I don't know if you can see it, but there are 2 holes pre-made and little cross area on that to put a screwdriver in. And you just put this on and tap it, and it'll go right through. And I always reach in and untwist what just punched through, just so they don't go downwards. Also, when I'm potting a plant, I usually like to put a piece of drywall tape over the hole, but so the dirt doesn't fall through. But in this case, these are going to be outside, and you're going to see where later. So I'm not going to bother today. So first off, we're going to plant this one. And then I've got 6 more I'm going to plant. So let's start with number 1. Get this little guy out of here. I mentioned earlier, blue boys are very drought tolerant. And I'm in an area that is heavy in drought. I'm in the southeast. So that works out well for me. I don't have to be too obsessive about watering. The soil that I'm using for this blue boy is a mixture that I came up with. Now, I'm not going to go into that today, what the mixture is. I have another video, which I'll link below, on different soils that can be or cannot be used for yuccas. So we'll talk about that in another video. You don't want to go all the way to the top. with your soil. Now, if you notice, this pot is a little big for this size yucca, but I have my reasons for it. So, you know, this grows slow, so that's not it. But I'm gently patting it down. I'm not smashing it down. And if you notice, the soil doesn't go all the way to the top. It's about 1 inch down. And there we have it. All right, let's finish the rest of these. Okay, this one has 2 in it, so we're going to have to divide it. We're going to gently divide it. And this doesn't hurt it. If you want to look at the roots, the rhizomes, so they tend to go out to the side. They don't tend to go out to the side. They do go out to the side. So let's finish this up. So there you have it. I potted them, and now I'm going to show you what I plan on doing with all these blue boys. Now for the finale of my Blue Boy landscaping project. As you can see, I have 5 of the 7 blue boys that I potted. I'm using the other 2 for another project, but here are the 5. I also have 5 pavers, and these are old pavers that I happen to have laying around that I power washed yesterday. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to use these pavers and these blue boys to landscape this fence right here that looks so boring. All you see is a no swimming allowed sign. You might as well put a yucca there as far as I'm concerned. Anywhere you can put a yucca, put a yucca. 2 reasons why I'm putting the yuccas on pavers. 1, if you put a potted plant, any plant, it doesn't need to be a yucca, on the ground and leave it there, eventually the root is going to go through the hole into the ground. And when you go to move that pot, you're going to kill your plant. So you don't want to just set a pot on the ground. You want to set it on a paver. Second, yuccas tend to be invasive. So you can really need to be careful where you plant a yucca in the ground. I have an article on loveayucca.com. Just Google, can yucca roots damage your pipes? And you can read about it. But they can do some damage, and they do multiply in the ground. They multiply in a pot, but they really get out of control in the ground. So you really want to think it out if you're going to plant a yucca. So let's get started. Let's lay these pavers and get these potted blue boys where they need to be. And there you have it, landscaping with blue boy yuccas while using a pot. Don't they look great? And if you remember earlier, I had mentioned I had my reasons for using a pot that was just a little too big for the yucca. Yuccas like to be pot bound, so that was kind of, I was skirting the edge on that one. But if you notice, they're in proportion. They look good in these pots. They're going to do fine in these pots. They're slow growers, so they're going to be in these pots a long time. And when they're ready to move on, I'll give them a new pot. Thanks for joining me. If you like what you saw, subscribe or at least give me a thumbs up. It doesn't cost you a thing. Until next time.